rich, they upset, yeah. Cardi put the pussy on offset, Cardi big brain on the flame. Cardi take your man, you upset, Cardi got rich, they upset, yeah. Cardi put the pussy on offset, Cardi big brain on offset. Cardi take your man, you.
What's been up, man?
Yeah,
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
I'm actually honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, how are you guys working exactly together?
Oh, well, he reaches out to me for like whenever he's doing like a project as far as social media is concerned, like more on campaigns and stuff. He, like, when he releases new shoes or something like that with K-Swiss or do anything, he reaches out, and I'm more of like the creative. I've only worked with him twice.
I see. So, what's your story? How did you get started in what you're doing today?
Hit moon box in this. I'm from the Bronx. I keep the pump in the trunk. If you bad, then jump. Might leave your in the slump. You're back for a party with Cardi a body in a Rari.
Well, I started dancing when I was about 9 years old in Miami, Florida, and then I started dancing for a couple of local groups there, and ended up teaching for a Miami Heat dance team for a while, and then just teaching locally, doing local shows, and decided, I really wanted to expand my dancing career, so I decided to move to LA at the age of 26, and then I just hustled my butt up to, substitute classes and so on and so forth. And yeah, here I am today.
That's crazy. One of my biggest goals is to move to LA by the end of the year. How did you move? Like, were you alone? How did you take that leap?
No, I moved away with my then girlfriend, now wife, and I just came home and I told her, look, I'm moving to LA. You coming or not? And then she was like, okay, let's go. And then boom, now we're here.
But then how are you living? It was so expensive to right now, that's one of my concerns.
It was very, very expensive. We really didn't even have a place to stay for the first couple months. We stayed in her car. We stayed at her cousin's house, which is about 2 hours away from LA, from where we really needed to be. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's how it was for a couple months. We started bunking with a couple of friends. Didn't have much there. Like, it was a real big struggle. Really big struggle.
I see. I'm very afraid of doing that. Like, that's one of the biggest things.
But you know what? You'll never be ready. Let's just put it like that. You'll never be ready. And I think, the best thing to do is just to do it, So
I know, but I feel like I'm in a different country, and to go there, and I don't know a lot of people there. I know people briefly because I had them on my podcast and stuff, but I'm just stuck between like the pain and pleasure, like how much I'm gonna regret if I don't take that leap versus what if I'm there, I'm all alone, and what's gonna happen? Like the fear of unknown.
What's the worst that can happen? You come back home and then that's it. That's what I tell everybody, what's the worst that can happen? There's nothing, people think that it's the end of the world if they go there, come to LA and not have to move back. It's not the end of the world.
I'm still working on that. I'm sure I'll make past it. So how did you come from a place where you were struggling so much to make ends meet to now? How did you start making money? How was that route?
Well, I actually started working at LA Fitness because when I moved out here, we didn't have a job, we didn't have anything. So, making money was important, and surviving was important. So, I got a job at LA Fitness, did not dance at all, and I just saved every check because I knew that I wasn't going to be at that job forever. Yeah. So, I saved every check, and then that's when I started. I quit, and then that's when I started the process of budgeting my money the correct way and making sure that I had something to eat, the next day, et cetera, et cetera. So that was more of the challenging part,
So what would you say what's one of the biggest things you've learned in your career up till now that people can learn from the most?
One of my biggest lessons was patience. Patience and never letting your foot off the gas, going full steam. Even if I'm supposed to be quote unquote off, I create something for me to do. I create a task for me to do, and always staying productive in every aspect. I do believe in rest, but I do live for the burnout. I really want to work until I can't work anymore, because this is not a 9 to 5 job. This is, a struggle. It's hard. It's tough.
So patience in what context? I get so confused. Like patience for the results, or you can't be patient with your actions, right?
Patience as it relates to the no's that you're gonna receive. So patience as in relax, don't worry, this job isn't for you. Next one will come. There have been so many no's that I've received that are out of this world. I wouldn't have, but I wouldn't change it for the world, because without those no's, I wouldn't be where I am today.
I see. I'm struggling a lot with that. I'm trying to network with people, and Gary talks a lot about working for people for free, and I'm trying to find those people and just getting no's like next by next by next. But then that's how I started the podcast. I was like, instead of like cold emailing people, I'm kind of trying to build relationships and kind of grow my network and credibility to go from a position of strength. Just kind of working on that. So I really needed to hear that. That's amazing.
Yeah, but it's the money. The value doesn't come from the dollar. The value comes from how productive you are as an individual or as a business. So if you focus on money or currency, your value only stretches so far as that money will go. Yeah. But you are forever. You know what I mean? So put more value in yourself than the dollar.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm struggling a little bit because I couldn't find like what's my thing, like a talent sort of a thing, right? Like some people into fitness or videography or like dance, but I couldn't figure out what is it that I'm good at, what is it that I bring to the table.
That's important.
I know, and I just didn't want to stop until I find it. I was like, irrespective, like I have like the most little knowledge from what I've been learning from Gary or business books. Let me like apply myself continuously. He talks a lot about like documenting your process. So I've been like just kind of documenting me figuring out what I'm good at, like building relationships with people and all of that. So that is one thing that's kind of stopping me also to kind of take the leap and take the next step.
You gotta be your own boss, like now the world circulates around media. Look at it. We're talking through social media. You're in a whole different place than I am. You got to be a boss, and you can't be afraid to be one. I hire cameramen from time to time just to follow me to a restaurant, just because I want to document myself going to the restaurant with my wife and having dinner, and then saying a couple lines that'll be inspirational to the viewer. You understand? Yeah. But that's how today's society is circulated around. It's around media. You know what I mean? Yeah. So even if it's that small of a test run with you and being on social media, it needs to happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Like every little thing I know, like I want to be in the business side of like media and entertainment. I know that. So I'm still like, even though I haven't figured out what is it that I bring to the table, I'm trying to like be as productive and kind of create whatever I'm trying to create.
But you don't even need to be anything. You can just be you.
Yeah, but then if you want to like, for example, you would want to hire me to work for you, right? Even like if I'm like down to work for free, what is it that I can do for you? That is what
You're right. Yeah. You definitely have to find your why.
Yeah.
Your talent and definitely. But for the time being, you should, because you never know. You may be searching for something that you already are. You may be already a TV personality or a media personality or something that already is embedded in you. You don't have to search anywhere. It's probably right under your nose.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe during this process I might be able to like, I'm figuring out I'm really good with people. And I know I want to work hard and really push my limits. And I know that I'm very purpose driven and why I want to do to inspire young people and stuff. But I feel like still kind of figuring out, irrespective. So what would you say, like, what's your end goal? What's your ambition now?
I get asked that question a lot. And I'm not really quite sure how to answer it, because I believe in maximizing what's right in front of me. For me, I feel like if you look too far ahead, I feel like you'll start to leave crumbs behind. And I feel like if I look too far ahead, I won't maximize correctly what's in front of me. So currently, right now, the Parent Jam is my focus right now. Where I have kids and adults, dancing together in a classroom. It is trademarked. We're getting it licensed at the moment. and we're looking to broaden that big time. So right now that's my main focus. Other than that, I can't tell you that much more because there's a lot of things I can't say because of legal reasons.
I see.
But then that's a good thing. So having said that, I try to focus on what's in front of me right now. I can't really tell you because, if I look, of course, everyone wants the, big mansion, a lot of money, house, kids, wife, and, dog running around and stuff like that. That's the quote-unquote American dream. But for me, it's a little bit deeper than that. I want to leave a thumbprint in the world before I leave it.
I see. That is exactly what end ambition is, like what do you want to add to the world as a person, not necessarily the cars and stuff, because so much that people who've made it, quote unquote, got the cars and stuff, they still like go on to like depression and have all those feelings.
Right.
Because it's that feeling that you crave of being like fulfilled and feeling content and feeling like you've made something of yourself. So that's amazing. So one of the questions we ask everyone on the podcast is, are you happy?
Am I happy?
Yeah.
Do I look upset or sad or distraught to you?
No.
What?
No.
What do I look like? I am extremely happy, man. I get to wake up and do what I love to do. I'm my own boss.
Yeah.
I'm being in contact with a lot of people that admire my work. I'm a teacher. I'm an international traveler. I'm a choreographer. Everything that I've thought of manifested.
Yeah.
And that goes in part with maximizing what was right in front of me, because I would have never thought that I would reach this far to me,
Yeah.
And it's like squeeze the juice out of this, and then you go, oh, and then there's this opportunity. You squeeze out the juice out of that, oh, there's that opportunity.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to, do so many different things at one time, mastering one thing. And that's one of the things that I learned from Gary Vee is don't spend so much time at your flaws, spend more time on what you're good at and master it.
How do you think, since when is it that you can say that you've been happy? Was it after accomplish what you've accomplished, or were there instances of before when you were struggling and everything?
I would say it was a different type of happy. During my struggle, it was a different type of happy. I was happy that I was doing what I love to do, and I was happy that I was in LA making strides. I enjoy the process of trying to achieve my goals. So that is what made me happy more than anything. It wasn't necessarily, oh, yes, I got what I wanted. This is what I achieved. This is what I've been wanting to get. It was more about me doing exactly what I wanted to do to get there. I enjoy the hustle more than anything.
How big of a part did LA play in your career today?
LA played a huge part because I know that there are a lot of opportunities that were here that I couldn't receive back in Miami. I was exposed to a lot of different successful choreographers and teachers, got different types of training from a lot of different teachers that were veterans in the game and taught me a lot, not only physically but mentally. And I'm very grateful for that.
How were you able to get through those people? Were you networking with them personally, or were you just coming in contact because they were kind of in your environment?
They live here, child. They live here. So, they teach here. This is where, this is where you need to go. You know what I mean? And I never discourage anyone from staying home and doing what they need to do, but they should at least take a trip to LA to see what it's about and see if they can network a little bit before they, venture off and do what they need to do.
Did you know people here before you came here?
Not at all. I only knew a couple friends that moved out before I did. Calvin Hodge, Jake Codish, Bliss, and that was it. 3 people.
Was it intimidating for you to just move to a city where you didn't know a lot of people? And that city is, I feel like it's so powerful. Everyone's onto something.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very intimidating. But my dreams and aspirations outweighed my insecurities on how I wanted to live. So my ambition outweighed my insecurities.
How much were you like? How much like did failure play a part? Like, how many times would you say that you failed? That is when you hit like one turning point.
How many times did I fail?
Yeah, like before like major milestones, if you like look back and think about like the major things that happened, like that has landed you in a position that you're in today. How many like failures?
How many times did I fail? How many stars are in the sky? Tell me, how many stars in the sky? That's how many times I failed, you know? And, you know, like I said before, like, those no's really created my couple of yeses that I've gotten, you know? And those are the ones that I value the most. And once I got those yeses, I maximized on those opportunities and then just went with it.
I see. Because I'm in that space where I'm speaking with everyone and all I'm hearing is like getting ignored, getting rejected, people saying yes and then not showing up. And it really makes me wonder if I'm like on the right path or if I'm like just...
You'll never fully know, sweetheart. You'll never fully know. But that's the beauty in the hustle. You'll never, ever fully know, you know? And that once you get to where you want to be and you feel satisfied with where you're at, which you shouldn't feel satisfied, but once you start to get to where you feel like you need to be, that's when you'll understand the value.
What would be an advice? Like, is there something that you would want to talk about, like just put out in the world for like young people who are like just working hard to achieve their dreams and not finding a lot of success at the moment?
Just passing less judgment on people, passing less judgment, and spend more time on yourself than everyone else. Because the more time you spend on yourself, the less time you have on everyone else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if the more time you spend on everyone else, looking at them, you become a critic. You know, you don't work on yourself. You're working on everyone else. But what about yourself? So spending less time on everyone else and spending more time on you, because iron sharpens iron. You need to work on yourself, thyself. I watch myself all the time, even on the videos. If I'm on Instagram, I'm probably on my page more than anything, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm watching myself and doing those things. So that's my advice to everybody out there, is just to focus on yourself. I got to go in like 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to thank you so much for coming. Like, last thing, how big did social media play a part in your career?
Huge. Social media was huge for me. It worked out in my favor, luckily, and I'm very grateful for it. It was a pivotal point for me because I used it to build a business and not my personality. You know, my likes and dislikes weren't shared. It was more of my motives and wishful thinking for what I think the world should embody, which is inspiration, motivation, love, less judgment, all of these good positive things. And then when social media is off, I can act myself. You know what I mean? Because we're not perfect.
Yeah.
But it's important to I only display that because that's what I want the world to see.
Thank you so much. I think we had an incredible conversation, and I know you're busy, but it means a lot for you to say yes, because the podcast isn't that big, so I was very skeptical if I would get a yes or no. But thank you so much for coming on today.
It's okay. It's okay. We're in here working already. Look at that. Look at that. We're
I see.
Yeah, we're dancing, so we're rehearsing right now.
How long are your days? Like, are you working 18-hour days? Like, how does your day look like, hours-wise?
I just got off the plane today at 8 a.m., so my days are endless.
All right. Thank you so much. See you. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Mr. T gold on my body, 6 chains. Niggas tryna copy skirt, switch lanes. Bad bitch with me, she don't know you a lame. You ain't getting money, boy, that's just loose change, hey. Boy, that's just loose change, hey. Boy, that's just loose change, hey. Boy, that's just loose change, hey.